DNVR back again, and this time with Manon Rhéaume. I can't speak French, so I'm sorry if I butchered your name.
That was pretty close.
That was good.
For a guy who speaks English, I did okay, I guess.
You did very well.
Obviously, you're a legend in your own right, the first woman to play for an NHL team. Can you just speak a little bit about your experience as being part of an NHL team, both as a player and now as part of the staff?
Yeah, it was a pretty amazing experience because when I grew up, I never saw women playing in the NHL or even playing hockey. So I was the only girl playing in Quebec with the boys. So I never dreamed of playing in the NHL. And I didn't have a female role model. So my idol was Danielle Bouchard from the Quebec Nordics.
Yes.
We were huge Quebec Nordics fans. My parents had season tickets. So I just grew up playing hockey, and I kept going all the way up to getting invited to a training camp.
Amazing. Are you happy about the Avalanche, or are you sad that we stole the team from Quebec?
Winning a Stanley Cup after they left Quebec, we were crushed. But obviously, it was special to continue to follow the Nordics with Avalanche because of all the players that I grew up knowing them.
Yep.
Talk to me a little bit right now. Obviously, special experience back then in Tampa. But what did it feel like to get on that ice? And I believe it was at was it at the St. Pete's? Where was the game?
No, the first year I was at a fairground.
Fairground. That's what I meant. Sorry. Yes.
That was not even like a rink, so they built a rink for us. So that was different than going to a real rink. But for me, it was probably the most nervous I ever been in my life in any event. I remember even the bus ride. You just have so much emotion going through your mind. I didn't know what to expect, but I remember getting to the rink and go to my locker room. And I walked in and I see this big bouquet of flowers, and I was wondering what was going on. So I look at the card. And it was a radio station from Montreal that sent me this and said, good luck today. You're not alone. We're all behind you. So it's at that point that I felt like some people were there to support me. And it really helped me to calm me a little bit.
Yep.
But after that, I remember that walk from my locker room to the ice. I was so nervous. My heart never beats that fast. But when I stepped on the ice, I totally forget that I was playing an NHL game. I was just on the ice playing hockey, and it was just an amazing experience.
You moved from the NHL to the growth of the women's game now, the PWHL starting to blow up a little bit. You were a Quebec fan for the NHL. Montreal okay for the PWHL?
Every team are great. Hey. The cool thing about the league now, for years, I coached girls hockey, and I coached Kendall Quinn, I coached Megan Bozak, I coached some of those females that are playing in that league. And but every time I coach young girls, they didn't have anything to look up to except the national team.
Sure.
Now young girls can be like my boys, like dreaming of playing professional and really have a goal. So I think it's really cool, and it's just going to help to continue to grow the game. Like I think on the boys' side, we're pretty saturated, the amount of boys that's going to play the game. But on the girls' side, they have really a great opportunity to improve the growth of women's hockey.
Well, you didn't have a chance, like you said, to play in a league like the PWHL, obviously, but now you're getting to work with the LA Kings of the National Hockey League, which is awesome. And what an awesome experience. And obviously, good friends with the Granados. So Cammie's a good friend of mine, and seeing people like yourself, a woman in the game, is awesome. And how you like the experience so far doing what you do, and elaborate a little bit more on what you do with the Kings.
Yeah, it's an amazing job. I always say I feel I never work a day of my life to be at the rink watching games, working with our prospect. That's one of my role, to work with the prospect, go watch them play, write reports on them, and getting to know them off the ice, not just on the ice. And I think it's so important today. It's not just about the hockey player, but it's about the person.
Yep.
And also doing scouting for goaltending. So between all of that, and also in LA during the summertime, I work with a different clinic and hockey school for youth or women's hockey.
And I'll let the chat know, She loves going to Denver. She loves the fact that they have a couple prospects with the DU Pine. We don't like DU. I know she likes Michigan. I like BU. We don't like DU. But she's going to be in Chair Creek and then going to go there, see their prospects. So I just wanted to let the chat know on that.
I do like Colorado. Like every time I go see a prospect, obviously you go to the rink, you find a couple restaurants, and I love shopping. So I really found some cool place in Colorado.
That's good.
I will admit, I'm not a goalie guy. Eric at least has a son that plays goalie, so he knows his way around the position. When you're scouting a goaltender, what's the first thing you look for in a goalie?
Just a lot of different things. Obviously, my oldest one was a goalie too, and I got to work with him when he was really young. And then after that, I was just mom. So I'm like, need to have someone else. But not only I play the game, but I watch him for years play and just see the evolution of the goaltending position. But something that a lot of people forget about in that, or doesn't seem to know, but the importance to reading the game for goalies as important as the players, and to be able to know what's is going to happen and be able to react to it. So, technically you can see if someone is a good skater and can stop the puck, but it's the detail of the game, like be able to read the game. It's a big thing, especially to be able to play at the next level.
Doesn't matter how athletic you are if you can't see it.
Yep.
Yeah, but tell us a little bit, just so our audience knows a little bit. I know where your kid's at, but obviously you got your youngest, so she's going to miss. The youngest is out of the house, going to the University of Michigan. Is going to play at for the Wolverines.
Yes.
Going to be a freshman. And your oldest one is in Europe in
Anglet.
Anglet.
Yes. He's playing in the south of France, and for him, he's a smaller size goaltender, so he was 5'9". It was really hard to make it to the next level in the U.S. So
but he had a great collegiate career.
Yeah, he played well in college.
Pro hockey.
Yes.
And to have the chance to, but actually, his last year of college, he got a chance to play in the American League in part of a game, and he beat me on his goals against average and save percentage because it did not allow any goals.
Oh, nice.
So he's got 1,000%.
Perfect stat
he's
line,
got the perfect stat line. So I'm like, just quit when you're ahead. But now he's playing in France, and he loves the game too, and he continued to really to be there and enjoy the life there. It's such a different lifestyle there.
You were smart. You got the first one to be a goalie, and then you're like, that's enough. You know what I mean? Let's get a real player now. Now
I have to tell you something. His first important game when he was younger, it was a state final in Michigan, and I woke up in the morning and I know he was starting the game. And I had butterfly in my stomach. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
I get it. Yep.
I called my mom and I said, am I normal? I have butterfly in my stomach. And the first thing she said to me, it's payback time.
No, but you're right. She's right. It's crazy. It's the worst feeling in the world.
Isn't it like the worst thing? I love the pressure of playing the position.
Yeah.
But being the mom of a goalie, it's not fun.
No control over the game.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on. If there's anything you want to shout out, feel free to go ahead. English, French, however you want to do it.
No, thanks for having me. This is great.
On t'en remercie profondément.
Ça fait plaisir.
Only you and I know. They have no idea.
We'll never know.
Thank you so much. That was awesome.
DNVR here with Avs OG Mike Ricci. We had you on earlier in the year. You promised us a dark horse to make the San Jose Sharks on that show. We caught up with you. You got a name for us?
Well, I don't know. There's a few names right now. It's early, but obviously the big names have done really well. It's been impressive. They've learned a lot and gotten their game. Cardwell's had a really good start to this camp, so I'll go with old Cardwell. But the rest of the young guys have really set the bar high. It's been impressive. We have not only is it talented, but it's hardworking. So it's been a lot of fun. Impressive.
Hey, look, you guys got a lot of talent between Celebrini and Smith. Sharks going to be good in a couple of years. So hopefully you guys can take that next step this season.
Yeah, I agree with you. The thing about those guys is they're as good as skill-wise, and what people know about them, what they don't know is they're competitive and they work hard. So, yeah, future's bright, but we can't think it's easy now. We still got to put our nose to the grindstone. Everyone's working. Management's been great, and now it's the rest of the hockey department's time to get moving.
Appreciate you coming on. If you find a minute, go kick Eric Lacroix's butt for me, yeah?
Yeah, no, I can't. I love him.
Here we are with Avalanche legend, Avalanche alumni, former assistant general manager of the Avalanche, now in charge, the head man of the goalie department. He's always been part of the goalie union, Craig Billington. But first and foremost, my friend, I just want to check with you to make sure everything's going good.
Going good.
Our kids are growing up.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Great. Really great. I've been I honestly so fortunate. Lived in Colorado for over 21 years now, and staying on and helping out with the goalies has been a lot of fun. Obviously, Pavel came on board, which is tremendous. Peter moved on to Anaheim, but we brought in Matt Zaba, a local Colorado guy.
By the way, I really like him.
Yeah.
FYI.
Yeah, he's great. Rick Wamsley, we brought in on the pro side. That's new, and so we're piecing stuff together and creating a really great department. Joe, Chris, and Kevin, super supportive, and it's been a lot of fun. Like, who doesn't want to talk about goalies?
Hold on a second. Now you really hurt me a little bit. Now we're showing our age a little bit, just so people don't know. Biller played his first game in Jersey against the LA Kings.
Yeah.
Those jerseys right there, right? Purple,
yeah. Purple and gold.
So he is old. He is old. Trust me. If he played against them, purple and gold, he's old. Yeah. We're old. Our kids are growing up. But then again, you're talking about Rick Wamsley. I'm as you know, from Montreal, big Avalanche fan. Wammer was my goalie coach. I wasn't a goalie, but as we know, but he was my goalie coach with the St. John's Maple Leafs and Toronto Maple Leafs with Mark Crawford back then. So it makes you look back, and how fun is it to see a tournament like this weekend, to walk around the lobby and seeing everybody and telling stories.
Well, and I ran into obviously a couple old teammates, Billy Ranford, Sean Burke. Like, it's just fun.
Yep.
And at the same time, it's not an exact science either with these goalies. You're, especially the young ones. And quite honestly, a lot of nights we don't know and can predict the NHL level goalie as much as we probably would like to. So at the same token, this is a tremendous tournament just to get a feel and overview. You've got everything from a guy that's played in the minors to a complete free agent going back to junior, or a college signing. So there's lots to see, and it really opens up some creative thought and where you want to take things.
Glad that it's always been your passion. Glad that you're in charge now of the goalie development. Honestly, I mean that. And as we know with the last draft, you guys obviously invested a lot of capital in goaltending. So glad that you guys are surrounding it with knowledgeable people. And then, great to see you still around, still part of the game. I was just telling an Avs former player here, Cogliano, like, hey, enjoy it. Biller and I went through the same thing kind of together, right? When we ended our careers, and enjoy it, go find your passion and go from there. Thanks for giving us the time as usual.
Yeah, thank you.
You're the man.